Good morning, everybody, and thank you for coming to today's Restaurant News Networking Group, the 9 o'clock meeting. We are a group of restaurant vendors who are here to help each other grow our businesses, and also we make ourselves available to restaurant owners, managers, and chefs who might have an issue with what they're doing at work, and they are looking for some advice or a sounding board. We are here to help. We've got hundreds of years of experience among all of us. And we welcome you to give us a call at 561-620-8888 or go to our website at trnusa.com, and also take a look at our YouTube page, which is Today's Restaurant, and subscribe to the page, and so you'll get notified whenever there's a new video. Would like to introduce two new faces on our board this morning. Tracy Pumo with Skyline Analytics. As I said before, Tracy and her husband run this company, and they have been original members of our 11 o'clock group, and Tracy feels that this would be more convenient for her. So, Tracy, why don't you tell us who you are and what you do?
Thank you, Howard. So as Howard mentioned, my husband Chris and I own Skyline Analytics, which is basically a consulting firm focusing on operational finance, mostly FP&A analysis and data analytics. We are industry agnostic, so we're not exclusive to the restaurant space, but we do quite a bit of work in the restaurant space. And so appreciate the opportunity to meet everybody here.
Okay, thank you. And
Thank you.
Steve invited Denis Feldman. Welcome, Denis. Tell us who you are and what you do.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Thanks, Steve, for inviting me. My name is Denis Feldman. I'm a commercial real estate broker and a financial analytical consultant, specializing in representing business owners or C-level executives looking to understand the benefits of acquiring real estate for the purposes of operating their business and earning significant returns on that investment. I think I've been in this market. Well, I've been down in South Florida since 2014, been with Coldwell Banker Commercial since 2015, and I've made my mark in the Palm Beach County, Broward County area, representing mostly business owners looking to acquire real estate. I've dealt with the restaurant industry throughout my career, and I've learned how to represent entrepreneurs looking to achieve significant value from the arrangements that I structure on their behalf. Mostly for them, it's in the lease area where they need to understand how to start up and get up and running and get their business functioning and profitable in the shortest possible time frame, avoiding all of the extraordinarily high cost of investing in that kind of a proposition prior to earning $1 in revenue return to those particular entities. I enjoy networking. I've been doing it for over, I guess, 30 years now. I met you, Howard, at Steve's group, Alvin and the Chipmunks. It's been a good group. I met you actually a long, long time ago when I first met Steve back in 2015 when Alvin was running it. In any case, just as an aside, saw Oppenheimer last night. Best movie I've seen in probably 25, 30 years. I can't remember a better movie. I can't remember a better edited movie. I can't remember a more gripping movie and extremely relevant. I highly recommend it to everybody just because that experience, I can't wait to go back and see it again. And that's 3 hours of sitting mesmerized by an amazing presentation. So that's it. Glad to be here. Hopefully this will lead to something for you, for me, and for all of us. I like to give, I like to help people, and I like when I give back and then it comes back to me in spades. So let's see
Absolutely.
where it goes. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Dennis, do me a favor, put your contact information in the chat
Sure.
so that I can add you to the list. And the reason
Thank you.
I'm asking you to do that is we're going to do our intros so that Tracy and you know who everybody is here. And at the end of the meeting, I send out a spreadsheet to everybody that's here with everybody's contact information. So you don't have to keep writing down. This is like a condensed business card. And I'll circle back to both of you at the end of the intros for you to put anything in that you might have forgotten, and also your contact information. So Brian, why don't you start us off?
Okay. Good morning, everybody. I'm Brian. I'm with a Rogue Financial Group. We're a commercial equipment financing company. We work all over the country. I primarily focus on the hospitality side. I work with other venues, but mostly hospitality, and under hospitality could be one restaurant, small restaurants, big restaurants, franchises, things like that. I do a lot of startups. I do a lot of work in the convenience store side. I've been doing a lot of work on the food truck side. I work with breweries, things like that. We are a company that works all over the country, providing commercial equipment financing to individuals looking for financing. Again, it's Brian, and I can be reached at 404-723-7222. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Ed, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Yeah, my name is Ed Gerton with Seco Sales out of Orange Park, Florida, which is just west of Jacksonville, Florida. We do equipment basically for the restaurant business, for the frozen dessert business. We represent Carpigiani, which has batch freezers, soft serve machines, mixed treat machines, ISA, which would be display cases, and Infrico for blast freezers and hardening cabinets. So we have a complete line of equipment for dessert making. You can reach me at 904-334-4489. Thank you.
Thank you. Tiara and Terry.
Good morning. Terry from Today's Restaurant News. And what I do is, what do? I do the monthly lead reports that keeps me busy about 10.5 hours a day, with the exception of Sunday. Getting all the leads from the teams that give them to me, places where we have to go to get them. And this is a nonstop, all day, all night job that I actually really like doing because I get to see what's coming in. This lead report is second to none. You get in Florida about probably 50 to 77, 80 leads a month. Every month you get where it's at in the construction phase. Did they sign a lease? Is it under construction? Is it in permitting? And I've gotten some new permits today, actually. Is it the owner's name, the owner's phone number, the owner's email address, where it's at, how many square feet about, does it have a bar, indoor, outdoor seating. So everybody here can actually really take advantage of that report, even if you're gathering emails to do your own email blast, whatever it is. But we get them out by about the 10th of every month, with the exception of a holiday. Then it could be a few days later. We have one for Georgia, one for Florida. Brian gets both. And most of the people in the 11 o'clock group have them. If you want a sample, just email me at terry@trnusa.com. I'm happy to send you a sample, but it won't have the email addresses.
Terry,
Thank you.
you said you were going to present a lead. to the
Yes, but
group
I
that
don't
really-
have a computer because
Oh,
they
right,
took it
right.
yesterday.
Sorry, okay.
Well, oh no, wait, I might actually have something because I was working on that again today with what I thought. Does anybody work in Davenport? Way up in the Panhandle? You
Yeah.
do, Ed? You're on mute, Ed. When you took that call.
Davenport's by Orlando.
No, Davenport's way up in the Panhandle.
Davenport is right next,
Kissimmee, west of Kissimmee.
yeah,
Is it really?
yeah, it's north of Kissimmee and to the west of Orlando, right on 27.
Yeah, on 27. I thought it was higher up. They have a brand new, the plans were just approved. Y'all can write these down or I can email them to you. Something called DevCo, D as in David, EVCO 72. That is going to be a brand new mixed use development. The plans were filed a month ago and it's going to be huge. It's going to have, it's off of Ridgewood Lakes Boulevard. Gulf Breeze. Does anybody work in grocery stores?
Yeah.
Okay, Brian.
Yeah.
Brand new lead here on this. Absolutely just came into me. Bergen Grocery Store.
Hold on.
Have you heard of that chain?
No.
Bergen, Bergren.
No.
Bergen.
Mm-mm.
It's on almost 6 acres. And it's going to have other things alongside of it.
Okay.
Retail shops. It's a 55,000 square foot store with 9,700 square feet of retail shops.
Okay.
Where?
It's in, hold on, I just got it. Along Gulf Breeze Boulevard.
In Gulf
Highway
Breeze,
20.
Florida.
Yes,
Okay. That's the Panhandle.
yes.
Hmm.
Thank you. And then another one in Gulf Breeze, the approval date was last month. Bell Vision Coffee Truck. Now this guy is going to be opening up several coffee trucks, big, you know, like designer coffee trucks.
Yeah.
The address is 5177 Gulf Breeze Parkway. That's going to be where the first one will be. I don't have any more information because I didn't have time. His computer is the main computer. We're networked together. And that's all I was able to get this morning without being able to go and do anything.
Okay, thank
Hey,
you.
Terry,
Thank
while
you.
you're talking about that, real quick, up in Norcross, I met with this guy. Food Trucks Unlimited. He builds food trucks, okay? But he's actually acquired the space next to him to accommodate. He's going to do like a commissary, individual commissaries. And
Oh, really?
yeah, I'm supposed to meet with him next week. And I think it's gonna have probably about a dozen stalls.
Oh, do you know the name of it? Because I might already have it.
Well, it's called Food Trucks Unlimited.
Oh, no, I don't have it.
He doesn't
Okay.
have exact name for the food hall yet, but
Okay.
yeah. But that seems to be popping up a lot of these commissaries and everything. He already owns. I got to find out where he has the other little commissary. He has a couple, one up in Lawrenceville, Georgia. His name is Lentz. Pean is his last name. Ping. But I'll get you some
Okay,
more,
yeah.
I'll get you some more detail on that. But yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, those are all over. And one that had 14 stalls has now added 6 more stalls. So I have to put that in the next report. You know, it'll be on the top of the line, referencing the bottom part, the first part. So if anybody watching the YouTube page wants to know where anything's at, just give us a call and let us
Okay.
know.
Let me give you a heads up on something that may be coming down the pike really quickly. I'm sure all of you are aware of the popularity of pickleball,
Mhm.
and it's growing quickly all over the country. I mean, it was huge down here in Florida. There are leagues, et cetera, et cetera. But what's happening now with the economy the way it is, many of the big box stores are closing, like Kmart or J.C. Penney, or perhaps a Publix or a supermarket that's changing locations or closing that location. What's going to happen is developers are going to go in and put pickleball courts indoors. And in those pickleball courts, there will be restaurants,
Mhm.
daycare, pro shop. So it's going to be an all-encompassing facility. So it's something to look forward to and to perhaps start thinking about. I think it's a great idea. I think it's something that it's going to take off like crazy. And I know an empty Kmart in Boca that might work well. Chris Kaufman, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Chris Kaufman of Chris Kaufman and Company finally coming up with a worldwide, well-respected acronym, CHRIS, Kaufman and Company. And CHRIS, as we've just been notified by the Acronym Association of America, is #1 for people in the hospitality industry to learn and to know. CHRIS stands for clubs, hotels, restaurants, institutions, and sales. Most of our work is in the restaurant industry, and that's where most of our contacts are. And we just recently placed a sous chef in Jensen Beach, Florida, and the client came back and ordered another one. Not because the first guy didn't work out, but because they're expanding and they're looking to grow. So most of our work, well, we just got a guy got hired in Virginia, a little town called Stanton, Virginia. The bottom line, the message here is that while the personnel business used to be a locally focused type of business, in the restaurant industry, it's a very mobile industry and people do move around. We have openings that we're currently working throughout the United States, mostly Southeast United States. CHRIS Kaufman and Company. We specialize in restaurant all-stars. And that's also a very convenient way to reach us, restaurantallstars.com or 404 All-Star, which is 404-255-7827. And when you dial that number, just ask for Chris, and you'll be directed right away for a conversation. That's all we have right now. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you. Steve, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Hi, Steve.
I didn't know where to go with that one. A couple of directions it
Don't
took
be
me.
afraid.
I gotta tell you, you guys who are not in South Florida, you really miss an opportunity to have a great meal once a month. Steve runs Alvin's networking group on Wednesday morning and Wednesday afternoon, and we have lunch together at Boca West Country Club, which is one of the #1 club in the country. And I'm telling you, the food is outstanding.
I still have leftover deli from Wednesday.
I'm having my third meal today.
Yeah, anybody who's down here, we do it once a month. I try to do it middle of the month, so if you're down, you're more than welcome to come. Let's see where. So anyway, getting back on track. I'm Steve Whitehill. I'm a business broker. I help people buy and sell businesses, and I just did a run on restaurants that I have available for sale that are over that earn over $500,000 of income. And there were essentially, I just clicked on the wrong button. There were essentially 50 of those restaurants throughout the state. Actually, I lied, 25. Anyway, let me give you an example of one. There is an Italian restaurant actually, it's in Coconut Grove. It's an Italian and seafood restaurant, and it has sales of 1,500,000. And on that 1,500,000, the owner takes home about 1,300,000. And that restaurant's being sold for just under $4 million. So there are all sorts of opportunities available, not all at the high end, but at all different price points and so on. You can earn a good living. The interesting thing, when I did this run, over 50% of the restaurants for sale that make over $500,000 are Italian, which I thought was fascinating. And all over the
Let me get
state.
that right. 1.5 million in sales and the owner takes home 1.3? Is that what you said?
No, 5.5 million in sales.
5 point.
Ah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Right.
that number didn't ring with me
What kind
either.
of pasta is he using?
Okay. Well, he's a very busy guy, and he works, got 15 hands. So, he just does it all.
Sorry about that.
Well, in fact, that restaurant, hold on, wrong button again. That restaurant, just so you know, has how many employees? 20 employees and 3 managers.
Wow.
Guy's
Okay.
name's not Silvano, is it? Silvano Bagano? Green Street?
I mean, I could find out what it is, but I can't tell you because
We're being recorded now. So
Commodore, is it on, I think I know exactly where it is.
well, as I said, I wouldn't have even told you where it was located, but the broker put the generic town that it was in, which I think personally was a mistake because of confidentiality. I would have never done that. At least I don't think I would ever do that, but I try to avoid it. Anyway, I'm Steve Whitehill, Anchor Business Brokers, and I can help you either find a business or sell one. And not only restaurants, but any kind you want. I can reach at 561-376-7500. And my email address is steve@anchorbb.com, which anchorbb.com. So it's my website. You can search for a business there. Thank you.
thank you. Joe Cregan, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Joe Cregan with Card Payment Services down just west of Fort Lauderdale Airport in Davie, Florida. We support about 700 customers in Florida and nationally, but about 60% of them at least are restaurants. We're very big in restaurants, especially in Florida. We have a small office here in Davie, another office up in Orlando, Altamonte Springs area. And we email blast. We focus on calling on all the new restaurants in the States. And we sell POS payments and payroll. We're a reseller for Clover POS and Adelo POS, which are 2 leading retail and restaurant POS solutions. We're a reseller for Fiserv, formerly First Data Payment Processing, which processes, I think, 1 out of every 4 or 5 credit card transactions in the country. And we're a small, very small reseller for ADP payroll. So we can provide the cash register, the POS, which also functions as the credit card terminal and the time clock, and integrate payment processing and payroll processing with that. So I've been doing it for years, and we've done a lot of large restaurants over the years here in Florida. Right now we're doing in Weston. He already has an account with us. Mangia's Pizza. He has one ready in Cocoa Beach. He's opening a location in Weston. What else we're doing? We're doing a couple food trucks up in the Tampa area, and a number of mostly small restaurants. Although we've done some big ones. We've done in the St. Pete Beach, 9 terminal location, doing about $250K a month or more. But anyway, just aside on what we spoke about last week, Toast, as you know, has dropped the $1.99 fee.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that.
Right, and Clover and their stock went down 10% that same day. They dropped that. And Clover was going to match them and do a similar fee. They never released it. But one very, very interesting thing about Toast, and if you're in my business, you understand, with most restaurants or retailers, when they sell gift cards, they get paid up front. And, creates a liability. It creates a receipt. They get paid immediately, but it creates a liability. They have to service the customer and redeem that gift card. And when the gift card is activated and used and redeemed, they've already been paid for it. Well, Toast I just found this out, does not pay the restaurant owner until the gift card that was previously sold is fully redeemed. So
Oh my gosh.
that is, I couldn't believe it when I heard that. And I can't believe restaurant owners are buying that system.
Oh my gosh.
They don't know.
So if you're selling a lot of gift cards at Christmas time, you may not be seeing that money till springtime.
Yeah, all that money you've got to put out of your own pocket.
Toast is a sneaky little company that deal with the fee. Was not going to the restaurant owner where he could pass it on or not or absorb it. It was going directly to the merchant. So they're making the money on the credit card processing. They're making the money on the software and the hardware. Now they're making the money on these ridiculous delivery fees. So and they don't have any reseller channel dealers to deal with. They're all direct. So you know, it's what's really interesting. They stopped the feed because of all the bad publicity they got, but their stock went down 10%. I think either yesterday or the day before when they announced it. Interesting. But anyway, Joe Cregan Card Payment Services, 954-635-5044 or www.cardpaymentservices.net.
Okay, thank you. All right, now I want to double back to our new guests. Tracy, tell us again who you are, what your company does, and give us an example of how a restaurant could use your services.
Sure. So again, Tracy Puma with Skyline Analytics. We're an operational consulting firm focusing on FP&A analysis, financial planning analysis, which is basically your budgeting and forecasting, and also data analytics. We basically take a restaurant's financial statements and any financial reporting that they may need or desire or want. We can get it for them. Typically, our restaurant clients have off-the-shelf software solutions that might only provide them 70 or 80% of the reporting that's useful. And so there's an information gap, and we'll come in and fill that information gap for them and help them get the analytics that they want. One of our top wins in the restaurant group is labor modeling and analysis. And so we can tell a restaurant and predict going forward exactly how many ticket sales they might have by day of the week, by time, etc., so that they can appropriately staff. So you don't have 12 people sitting on the floor twiddling their thumbs thinking you're going to have a busy time of the day, and you really don't. And so we do all that with data analytics and forecasting and such, and we build out these really robust labor models for restaurants. And so that's just one example of what we do. And so we basically go item by item on the financial statements. We'll also look at menu items and the mix of ingredients and the profit margins on different menu items, and we'll help with pricing decisions and such. We have one client now that's got sells vegan tacos, and the mushroom tacos are their most popular, I guess, sale item, but they're also the most expensive, and they haven't taken any pricing increase despite the fact that the price of mushrooms has skyrocketed since they put it on the menu. So, we'll help analyze all of that for them. Steve mentioned buying and selling businesses. We also do buy side and sell side due diligence and whatnot with companies. So we can look and see how efficient a company is running, or help make a business more efficient before sale so that it's more attractive for a potential buyer. So a little bit of, basically anything in the finance space that you could want. Our clients either too small to have an in-house finance department, or are large enough to have an in-house finance department, but they're just not getting it all done because they don't have enough hands on deck. So they bring us in. I can be reached on my cell, which is 561-512-1933, or via email, which is Tracy, TRACI, at skyline-analytics.com.
All right, thank you. Welcome to this group.
Thank you.
Dennis, why don't you again fill us in and tell us how we can reach you?
Sure. So much like Tracy, much like Steve, my focus on the commercial real estate side, as well as on the business acquisition side, is on financial analytics. but financial analytics with a focus on location of the prospective business owner's choice, and then a tactical approach to how the cash flows are going to affect his long-term, short-term business plan. I don't simply provide sites or locations for business owners or users to contemplate. I really come on board as an ad hoc COO in charge of the real estate acquisition phase of the project. A lot of these restaurateurs or restaurant purveyors, suppliers, etc., are great at what they do, but what they aren't good at is navigating the extreme intricacies of a real estate transaction, in particular, how to acquire real estate, how to manage the acquisition of the real estate through the transition period, how to finance the transition into the new facility over a period of time. This is all a function of cost of money, and the cost of money right now is double what it used to be maybe 18 months ago. So it's particularly important to scrutinize and evaluate and analyze how to economize on the outlay of capital in the initial phase of a site acquisition or a location acquisition. Most of these restaurateurs, most of these entrepreneurs are really not focused as they could be, or not as focused as they could be on the cost of the acquisition and how to strategize the transition into the acquisition at the most beneficial terms necessary for them to ensure their future success. I come on as their consultant, and in addition to the real estate brokerage side of the transaction, they receive all of my analytical skills as well and strategic skills as well. I've been doing this more on behalf of business owners and users than landlords, because I believe that landlords and business and real estate developers have a tremendous advantage over their tenants, especially now, especially in South Florida, especially in Palm Beach County and Broward County and Miami-Dade County. This area is a developer's opportunity to extract incredibly high returns on their investment because this market is so hot. In my entire career in commercial real estate, mostly it began up in the Northeast and the Long Island commercial real estate region, metropolitan New York. I've seen a lot of markets, a lot of cycles. I have never seen a market, I've never seen a real estate economy as on fire as the economy in South Florida is right now. And unlike the rest of the country, where the commercial real estate economy is somewhat threatened by the increase in real estate in cost of money. 10-year T-bills are at historic highs over the last 20 years. What we're seeing right now is we're seeing that valuations are extraordinarily high, rental rates are extraordinarily high, and business owners, because of the competition of businesses migrating to the Southeast, especially Southeast Florida, the pressure is really on, it's really a landlord developers market. And now more than ever, business owners need to be protected from being pilloried by some of these landlords. And I really take pride in representing tenants, business owners, entrepreneurs, in protecting them from being taken advantage of in this kind of a market and ensuring that their risk is as mitigated as possible going forward so that their business valuations can increase once they become operational and successful. That's how I do it.
That's surprising to hear, actually, because with the increase in people working at home offices, you would think that some of commercial buildings and commercial real estate would be taking a hit.
Well, listen, office properties are beginning to adjust down here, but you have to understand the number of financial services companies that are migrating to Florida because of the tax structure, the number of companies that are migrating to Florida because of the benefits, because of the ease, the safety within the state, is putting a tremendous amount of pressure on properties or tenants all over. Now, office tenants, you would seem to think would be the most vulnerable, and they probably are. But warehouse tenants, you can't find warehouse space in this region that's less valuable than maybe sea-level office space. The price of warehouse space in South Florida since I'm here in 2014 has probably tripled. It's probably close to $300 a square foot, $275 to $300 a square foot to buy a warehouse today in South Florida. And to rent a warehouse in South Florida today, it's probably between $18 and $20 a square foot. When I came down here, you could rent office space for $18 or $20 a square foot in a B-level building. How can you run a distribution business in Florida paying what 10 years ago or 9 years ago office tenants were paying? And by the way, office rents are probably comparable to a degree. I'm not talking about A-level buildings, but B and C-level buildings are comparable today to what warehouse tenants are paying. And you know, the requirement of space that they have is extraordinary. Retail space is at a premium. You can't find retail space that's soft right now in this particular region. The retail space in most of these strip centers, maybe you could find 1,200 feet, 1,500 feet, second generation restaurants, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 feet. Those rents are between $30 and $50 a square foot for those kind of facilities. And you can't find them. And that's net numbers. And when you do the math on the cap rates on those particular facilities, it's extraordinary what the valuations become. And, you know, for every tenant that's moving out or closing down, there's a line of tenants looking to come in and take over, especially a second generation restaurant. So retail is very, very pressed. Warehouses are very, very strong. Multifamilies, extremely strong. This region is on fire. I've never seen an economy like the economy that I'm seeing in South Florida right now in my life. And I've been in this industry since 1985. And so, you know, we're talking about a long time. And I've seen downturns, and I've seen really, really significant downturns. I have never seen a stronger market in a downturn than South Florida. It's extraordinary.
That's amazing.
I will say, Dennis, up here in North Florida in Jacksonville, the number of people that are migrating from up north into this area is huge. And I know out in the Panhandle, the people that are migrating from the Midwest down there is huge. And the same thing as the people in California are going to Texas. And dealing with some of the other Carpigiani distributors around the country, in the California, they're all crying the blues because sales are going out the window. The people they had have all moved to Texas. And guess what's happening in the Texas market? They're buying all the equipment in Texas. So it's something the Southeast is experiencing as a result of who knows what. I mean, probably a lot of things. Maybe COVID lockdowns, tax structures, the way the living cost of living up there, the way people live is totally different. I mean, I grew up in northern New Jersey in Newark. I wouldn't want to go back there and live again.
I just wanted to say, I was on a project for a couple of investors that were looking to acquire medical occupied office buildings. Jacksonville is on fire as far as medical occupied office. There's a tremendous movement in Jacksonville right now as far as medical development is concerned. The university, I'm not exactly sure who's responsible for the surge in development there. The same in Tampa, the same in Orlando. You can't find medical occupied, and I'm talking about $20 million, $30 million, $50 million projects. You can't find them. They're cash cows. The medical industry is just ridiculously strong, and it's responsible for a tremendous amount of growth. So, you know, you got to be very, very careful about how you analyze the market here. But the market here, I have never seen in my life. I've never seen a market so strong as the market in South Florida is.
But is it fair to say that with the market as strong as it is, that the smaller investor is going to be priced out to larger real estate companies that can afford to pay those prices?
What are they buying?
If they're buying a building?
No, I
or
mean,
whatever.
what it all depends on what the category is that you're referring to. You can't, as a small investor, buy a warehouse at $300 a square foot and expect to get a 10% return on your money. What kind of a return are you looking for? How much cash are you sitting with? You can't expect to, very few people are going to be buying office buildings that are 60% occupied. But tenants moving to Florida are going to pay whatever it takes to get their toehold in this market. And they don't care. They're just coming down. And when they come down to Florida, they're buying homes. There are no homes available. Nobody's selling at 7% when they're sitting on a 2% mortgage. So there's a lot of pressure right now in the market. It's not false pressure, but sooner or later, there may be a bubble, but I don't think we're close to that because the economy is still too strong.
I don't know. I get different vibes.
Yeah, I don't know. It is strong and they are spending, but I noticed that the higher end malls, people are walking through, but there's no bags being carried. And usually there are tons. Whole different ballgame, I know, but I honestly, I don't know. And he could be right because if you look in other areas, like, we watch the road trips there from like Nick Johnson, and you see all of that, and there's like empty towns, empty buildings. No one could afford this. No one can afford that. The town closed up, but he's right about the southeast coast of Florida because that's where everybody wants to live. It's party town for the singles. It's, business is booming. You've got your the preppies, the kid. Those are all, and they all come down from New York with money and they buy stuff. So on one point, he's pretty accurate. It just depends on the industry, I guess. I don't know.
Did you guys see the article about Jim Batmazian, right?
Yeah.
He's the largest developer, largest real estate owner in Boca. He's going to build an 11-story, 2-tower hotel on Meisner Boulevard across from the Alina, those $1 million condos that were just built.
I'm watching him build it.
Yeah, well, me too. So, because I face the Alina right now, from my home office. This guy is going to be building or just put in plans to build a 300,000 square foot 2-tower, 11-story hotel on Meisner Boulevard between Palmetto and Federal Highway, that loop right across from the Alina. He's going to tear down the retail that I don't know if you know where Ichiyama is, that whole block.
Yeah.
That's my favorite restaurant. I love that
That
restaurant.
whole block is going to be torn down, and by 2025, there'll be 2 11-story towers blocking my view to the ocean.
Now, wait a minute. That center is very high end.
He owns it. He owns it, and he's tearing that corner of it down.
It's not only high end, but it's probably the food section in the restaurant section in Boca.
Yeah, look what's there. Yoke, all of the high end.
Bro, it's not that far south. It's just the quadrant around Second Street.
Is that where all those big buildings right now are being built?
Those are the Alina condominiums. They're $1 million and up units. They're all sold out. They're 3 towers.
What are the square footage? Do you know?
1,100 to 2,500 square feet.
Small feet,
4,000. I mean, but what, you're talking about probably close to $1,000 a square foot.
Wow.
That's insane. That's insane. And that's not even, it's like right by Dixie Highway. It's
No,
not that
no.
crazy
It's
area.
overlooking the Boca Resort Golf Course.
Yeah.
Oh, big deal to pay that kind of money for that's insane.
They're sold out.
All right, Terry.
It's amazing.
Wow.
Terry,
Wow.
telling you.
Terry, don't buy one.
I'm not.
Buy two. Buy two.
All right, how can we reach you, Dennis?
561-923-5278. I put it on the chat. I think.
No, I know,
everyone-
but we want people who are watching this to have it.
I'm at Matrix Guy, MATRIXGUY 3113 @gmail.com all the time. I work with Steve. We network together. We practice business sales together. Whenever I can bring an opportunity, he's there for me. And when it comes to commercial real estate, I'm there for anybody, as long as they're good people.
Okay, well, as I mentioned earlier, I will send everybody a spreadsheet with everybody's contact information. It will not come today because my computer is down, and it'll be back in. I'll have it back this afternoon, hopefully. So all my paperwork will be done tomorrow. But I want to thank you all for coming. Appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Anybody have anything else they want to add? All right, well, thank you for
Stay
coming.
cool. Stay cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
Ed, I'll call you.
Okay, talk to you later then.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Steve,
Bye.
Everyone,
Have a good
thank you,
weekend.
Steve.